Now that you've gathered all of your must-have grooming supplies, of course including your fabulous Good Vibrations Unlimited shampoos and products, it's time to learn how to show groom your French Bulldog. 7.5-year-old multi-group placing superstar London is the perfect Frenchie to help demonstrate how to get your dog ready for the show ring. I love the fact that she lifts her foot up.
She knows the routine.
She knows the routine.
Yeah.
Good girl.
She knows all about it.
We've got more grooming action coming your way, and not just with French Bulldogs. We've got new breeds coming, so be sure to subscribe and ring that little bell so you don't miss one episode. The universal first thing to do when grooming your dog? Yep, do those nails. And while using a trimmer is a great way to lop off the tips when the nails have grown out, the next universal thing to do is smooth out those edges and work close to the quick using a Dremel. Show dogs and couch dogs definitely need to have their nails trimmed back, but there's a difference between show nails and everyday nails.
Now, since she's not showing, I don't have her back to nublets, as I call it,
Right.
for nails. I don't think I need to really put that much emphasis on her right now because she's just a retired veteran right now, living the good life.
Show nails are worked back as close as possible, what Denice lovingly calls little nublets. Now, London, she's a veteran who is more on the couch than the show ring, so she has everyday nails. Now, once Denice is done with their nails, she does a little bit of prep work to get them ready for their bath. It's kind of like putting spray and wash on your laundry before you throw in the washing machine. French Bulldogs notoriously have some potential allergy issue. These allergies are the cause for yeast staining, which is that orangey staining that you see on this breed as well as many other breeds. Because it is such a very common issue for the Frenchie, Denice and Becky designed their products to help combat the problem. Their facial and tear stain wipes are safe and gentle to use on any part of the body. You know, like including little Miss Linda's vulva, because don't forget, she's just coming out of season. But they were designed to help remove tear staining and keep yeast at bay.
Yeast is a problem. The Frenchies really, allergy-wise, have a really hard time dealing with. So this, I just scrub it real through, just getting it nice and sudsy, and then I let it sit on there.
These wipes come in handy for so many things, and not just the staining and yeast. We also have the infamous Frenchy Wrinkles. All those wrinkles.
Yes, wrinkles like to harbor things. And as you see, I'm going to show you. See that? Yep. And we just go through and we wipe it. And we take that down. Now this also helps remove those ugly tear stains by doing that every day.
Every day? Okay.
Yep. You just lightly wipe it over. And that's what we said. What's our biggest challenge in our breed? And that's tear stains.
Tear stains.
So as you can see, it's literally taking her tear stains off right now.
Wow. Frenchies are an open ear breed, but they still have issues with ears, so you have to tend to them. Denice recommends that you use the wipes on the outside of the ears, but the ear cleaner for the inside.
Those sensitive ears, I just go around the outside first.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, there you go. And she knows the whole routine.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me get down a little deeper, see if we got some. Yeah, we got a little bit down there. So just lightly, and then I'll go through the same thing on the other side.
Once you've essentially pre-treated all of those trouble spots, let it soak in for a little bit before you start the bath.
She's a great helper.
Yes, you are an awesome helper. Good girl.
You ready to get washed? Let me get your water ready. Let's warm it up.
From there, she wets the dog down from head to toe, but take note of the must-do technique for all bronchiocephalic dogs.
I've seen too many instances where the brachiocephalic dogs have pulled water into their nostrils.
Right.
And then they panic and they'll actually pass out. Nice washcloth, get the face wet so you can move on to the next step.
From there, she moves on to the feet, saturating their paws with whitening shampoo.
That's where yeast harbors, is in the pads in here and those little beds.
Next comes the face, and she's using the tearless puppy shampoo. Now, take note of the fact that the product is thicker than your average shampoo. See, this allows for the product to actually be placed where the product needs to be placed. Pretty smart, right? Once you finish applying all that product to the face, you let it sit there for a while and work on the body. That 5 minutes allows the product to truly do its job.
Now, not everybody's as anal as I am about products. You know, everybody's got their jam. But I'm like, why not help out your own game? It's already costing you a fortune to get in the show ring. Why not represent the best you can?
Absolutely. Of course, each dog is different, and using the right products based on your dog's needs is the most important thing. In London's case, the whitening shampoo and cream rinse are a must for this beautiful fawn. For some reason, fawn coats are a bit thicker, so the cream rinse is the perfect choice. Now it's time to rinse all that product off the dog, and you do the body just as you would any other dog. But when it comes to the face, yeah, we're back to the washcloth. Bronchiocephalic, remember? Wet the washcloth and wipe, and wipe, and wipe.
And between the creases, oh, we're getting good tear stains still.
Nice.
Yes.
Letting all of that pre-treatment and the tearless shampoo set in allows for even more tear stains and wrinkle crud to come out. Towel drying from the tub is just the start because this breed definitely requires you to use an Air Force dryer. When you are drying a French Bulldog, really any dog, you want to make sure that you dry between those toes. Heat and moisture make yeast. And I know you ladies know exactly what I'm talking about. So, since this breed is notorious for having issues with it, get those toes dry. Thank you. Denice has a specific set of techniques that she follows when it comes to French Bulldogs that are actively in the show ring. You see, for 60 days straight, the feet are tended to. She would use the tear stain wipes every day, cleaning them with the whitening shampoo and drying, of course, every other day, but then twice a day, every single day, she has a special powder called Yeast Away. Guess what it does? It's designed to help French Bulldogs as well as any other breed that has yeast issues. This regimen will keep those feet nice and white, free from staining, as well as actual yeast and bacteria.
The yeast will go up really high. Before, her nails were just brown with the yeast, okay?
Right.
I was having a hard time,
right?
No lie, trying to get rid of it. And so it harbors up into the bed of the nail, and that's where it grows and reproduces, and then it starts to spread.
Okay.
And once it starts spreading, that's why you'll see a lot of dogs that will be constantly biting and chewing their feet.
Right.
Because that active yeast in there is driving them insane. They cannot help. So it's a vicious cycle. They lick it, they chew it, it just keeps growing. Until you can stop the production of the yeast, they're going to continue.
They're going to continue to lick. Okay. Another drying tip: use your hand to block the air from hitting the face directly. You will have a much happier dog in the end. Once your dog is dry, now it's time to start shaving. And Denice starts with the ears. Grab your trimmer along with a 10 blade. Remember, the higher the number of the blade, the shorter and the finer of the cut. So this is going to give you a close cut.
Push the ear back. And off we go. Real gentle. Careful coming through.
Yep.
There we go.
And when it comes to the different coat colors, the lighter the skin, the more sensitive the skin. So, with these lighter coated Frenchies, you need to be a little more careful than perhaps with a brindle.
A little bit more fuzzy. Again, be careful of that.
Right. What is that called?
You know, it's a useless piece of skin is what it is. I don't know a terminology for it, but it's truly useless.
It's useless. Just collects dirt.
Yes, it does. And the way these guys like to roll in the dirt and everything, it's a constant battle. And out. And out. Just being ever gentle on the skin area here.
And this is why she suggests that you trim the ears a few days before the show. And while we're on the face, let's talk about the nose.
Usually the week before I'll get some A&D ointment and I'll start massaging her nose with A&D ointment.
Okay.
Because they tend to get a little bit dry across the top.
Right.
The A&D ointment is going to replace
some
all
of that coloring, yeah.
Yes, and it's going to be nice and clean. So day of the show, all I have to do is a little touch up and we're good to go.
Good to go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There, it's time for the feet. If you watched any of my other videos, you know the drill. It's time to clean out all those little hairs between the pads. It's extremely important, not only with this breed because of the yeast and bacteria, but because all dogs can slip and slide if the hairs grow out over those pads, giving them no traction.
And she has a natural tail. She's born with this. It's actually a tail in here. It's probably hard for you to visually see, but you can feel it.
Oh, yeah, she does have a little tail in there.
Yeah. So I just go through and make sure that if any loose hairs, I'll pluck it out with my fingers. You are going to flag. Stop it. Yeah. So thank goodness she's just coming out.
Yeah.
And I think she farted too.
Yeah,
so.
well, you know.
Oh, well, you know, she is a Frenchie.
Thank you. She's a Frenchie.
Yes.
After the air cleared, it was time to work on the underbelly. As Denice explains, cleaning up the hair is extremely important because what's left on the side, it really takes away from the tuck up.
So what I want to do is emphasize that now here's her line, and that her line wasn't dropped here because of the hair. It's all about S-curves in our breed.
Yeah, okay.
So it's really important to emphasize as much as you can of the S-curves.
Also, for sanitary reason, because she was a mama, she has elongated nipples, so you want to clean that up too. After tuck-ups and S-curves, or should I say her girly figure, is emphasized, it's time to work on her seams. Basically, the little hairs on her britches. Another interesting factoid, fawns are a little more hairy. So these little seams on her butt on the fawns will require a little more attention than on your brindles. Denice forgot to bring her thinning shears, so she's using straight shears in this demonstration, but she recommends that you do all of this trimming with thinning shears for a much more natural look. Moving on to the front seams, French Bulldogs have a lot of little colics, so she recommends you use your hand and swish the hairs down toward the belly. This will pull up the side seams across the shoulder, and then of course there's the other seam going down the center. Pull them out and then trim them down with your thinning shears.
That makes for a smoother picture.
Yep, I got it. Definitely see the difference there.
So if you're showing like even a smooth coat chihuahua,
Right, you would
totally
do this.
clean that up. Yep.
From there are seams that run down the sides of their neck. The hair there is much thicker, and the thinning shears will definitely make the job a lot easier. Using the same technique, fluff those hairs up and then trim them down with your shears.
This way, when they're looking at her neck, hello.
Hello.
When they're looking at her neck from the side,
Right.
you have your collar, however.
Right.
Mine, I let, when I show on a real loose lead, so their collar may hang down here. I want them to see that real pretty neck. Neck into shoulder. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's, especially in our breed, is so important. Emphasize the neck. A lot of them don't have one.
So when you got it, flaunt it.
Absolutely. I want them to know she's got a tail without them having to dig at her booty.
Okay.
Okay? Because our breed is supposed to have a tail, whether it's itty bitty
It's
or
supposed to, right.
whatever it is, it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's what they're born with. So I want them to know she's got a tail. So I may leave some longer hairs on here
So that you
because
can
they're less likely then to go and dig in here.
Okay. The final step before stepping into the show ring would be to enhance the face. She recommends doing this at least an hour before. And to enhance it, she uses a very light powder like cornstarch or even food-grade diatomaceous earth. And she lightly pads it into the creases after touching up the nose.
And that will just sets her face off.
Right.
And that's pretty much
it.
how that would roll.
London was such an awesome model for showing us how to show groom a French Bulldog. But just wait until you see her grandson, Buster. Now, he's sporting the little nail nublets because guess what? He's training to go in the show ring. Cannot wait to see him out there. And thank you, London and Denice, for sharing these amazing techniques as well as your awesome Good Vibration Unlimited products.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Yeah. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, yes. Thank you.